Welcome back to the channel everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the secret version of the Lucid Air that's barely been mentioned. This version will be able to rival and potentially even beat the Tesla Model S Plaid edition. I'm also going to be giving a bit of an update on NNDM and whether I still think that it's a good stock. And actually, a certain someone has been adding to her position in NNDM quite heavily. So stay tuned and let's make some money. Before I dive into the video, I just want to remind you all to subscribe to the channel, to ding that notification bell, to drop a like down below, and be sure to check out the links to Webull and Free Trade down in the description to get those free shares. At the moment, you can get up to 2 free shares worth up to $1,850 with Webull. Also, consider checking out the Patreon and becoming part of the team. Now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, let's start by talking about the secret version of the Lucid Air. So you might have seen from the Lucid Motors website that the Dream Edition can complete a pass of the quarter mile in 9.9 seconds. But we can see from this article all the way back from 2020 that the Lucid Air can complete that same pass in only 9.2 seconds. So why does their website say 9.9 seconds? It's not exactly a small stopwatch error or maybe a typo. And if anything, surely they would have gone for the lower number, right? Not the higher number. But what about top speed? Well, the EV database has the Lucid Air Dream Edition pegged with a top speed of 168 miles per hour. But Wikipedia says that the Lucid Air can do 217 miles per hour. And with the limiter taken off, it can do 235 miles an hour. And that's a massive difference. So what's caused it? So if we head on over to the Lucid Motors website and use their configurator tool, we can see that the Lucid Air Dream Edition has a dual motor and all-wheel drive. The Grand Touring also has a dual motor, as does the Touring Edition. Now if we head on over to the Global Reveal video for the Lucid Air, we can see that their skateboard system or Leap platform had plans for a single motor, a dual motor and a tri-motor. Now it all starts to fall into place. From that tweet that I showed you earlier, an expertly timed pause will reveal the Lucid Air that set that 9.2 second quarter mile time and the same car that hit 217 miles an hour is actually a tri-motor version of the Lucid Air. And that means that the Lucid Air Dream Edition isn't even the highest version of the Lucid Air. It will go one better than that. How about the Lucid Air Plaid Edition? You see, making a tri-motor version of the Lucid Air is exactly what Lucid Motors needed to do. The Lucid Air beats the Tesla Model S Performance on a variety of levels. The Tesla Model S has 778 horsepower, compared to the Dream Edition's 1080. The Tesla Model S Performance has a top speed of 162 miles an hour, compared to the Dream Edition's 168. The Tesla Model S Performance can do 320 miles to the charge, whereas the Dream Edition does 503. But then the Tesla Model S Plaid Edition came in and marginally beat all of the figures from the Dream Edition. Over 200 miles an hour, over 520 miles per charge, and over 1100 horsepower. Most people thought that Tesla had Lucid Motors beat, although most people were forgetting about the tri-motor version of the Lucid Air. The tri-motor version has a limited top speed of 217 miles an hour, more than the Plaid's 200 miles an hour. It's likely also going to have more than 1100 horsepower, as the Dream has 1080, and I'm sure Peter Rawlinson's going to do anything he can to get more than 520 miles out of each and every battery charge. Just a quick reminder to scroll down and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not and you've already watched some of my other videos, then subscribe and be sure to ding that notification bell because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. It's therefore great news that the Dream Edition isn't even the fastest version of the Lucid Air. Most people were saying that Lucid was badly timed. Yes, they released a vehicle that just about beat the Tesla Model S Performance, but then the Plaid was released that beat all of those. But with the Lucid Air tri-motor, it's likely that they'll have that one up on Tesla again. It's rumoured that the Lucid Air tri-motor version could be released in late 2021. However, that was from an article back in 2020 before the production timings were delayed slightly. I personally think that we could see the tri-motor version of the Lucid Air in 2022, around the same time as the launch as the Air Pure. It'd be expertly timed to release not only the cheapest, but also the most expensive, fastest and most mileage covering vehicles, both at the same time. I think that this could really cement Lucid Motors' position as the #2 EV manufacturer. Maybe even the #1 EV manufacturer, beating Tesla if they can keep a significant lead in terms of top speed, 0 to 60 time, miles covered, luxury and autonomous features. In terms of the CCIV stock, it's been really uneventful lately, just bouncing around in this $20 to $25 region. But then again, most of the market has been quite uneventful lately, especially in the growth sector. I do think that we'll see a fast growing market like we saw in January and February again, and I don't think it's too far away. The pandemic is dissipating, new green energy initiatives are being put in place all around the world, and the world itself is getting back on track and returning to normal. Everything is becoming perfectly aligned for another big growth run, just like we saw in the second half of 2020. But what about NNDM? Should we all abandon the 3D printed chip and run for the hills? Well, Cathy Woods and Ark Invest don't think so, recently adding over 1 million shares of NNDM to their Ark Q ETF. NNDM is still having breakthroughs and printing multi-layered circuit boards. They still have over $1.5 billion in cash ready for acquisitions or for new product rollouts, and the 3D printing market is still growing with a CAGR of over 26%, or a compound annual growth rate of over 26%, which is absolutely crazy. They also recently took on a new president and a new head of M&A, both with lots of experience growing businesses and making acquisitions. I think NNDM have so many options and different paths that they could take at the moment, and they almost certainly also have the resources and the experience needed to follow almost any of those paths. I think now is a very exciting time to own NNDM stock, with a market cap of around $1.7 billion and cash of over $1.5 billion. It can't really fall much lower before the stock is literally at a net asset valuation. And therefore, when NNDM start making moves, I expect this stock to grow rapidly. The CEO recently gave an interview and specified that he's specifically looking for 2 different types of businesses to acquire. The first type of business is a fairly large company in the PCB industry, similar to NNDM, maybe one of their competitors, that already has existing customers and an existing supply chain that can be integrated with NNDM's advanced technology. The second type of business is small startups with strong potential technology that really just need some financial backing to get their technology out to the masses. The CEO effectively just wants to swoop in and acquire the company instead of spending all of that money on R&D, creating a fairly similar product. In terms of the NNDM stock, it's been falling over the last month to around $7 a share, down from its February highs of around $17 a share. When NNDM do start making acquisitions, they have a lot of headroom to grow back up towards $17 and higher. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out some of my others. Also, remember to check out Webull and Freetrade for those free shares, and consider joining the Patreon and becoming part of the team. But for now, cheers.